All right, well, we're continuing our closer look at some key political races on Montana this morning. Today, we finish up with the race for governor.
This morning, we are joined live by Zoom by Republican Congressman Greg Gianforte, the Republican candidate for governor.
Yesterday, we spoke with Democrat Mike Cooney. Today, Mr. Gianforte, our first question for you. What will be your top 3 priorities if elected?
Well, thank you, Holly and Chet. It's good to see you. Wish I could be in the studio there with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
We need to get our economy going again. I mean, we need to manage through this COVID crisis. This is why I published my comeback plan for the state. I would encourage people to take a look. It's out at montanabusinessplan.com. But unfortunately, even before COVID, Montana is 44th in the nation in wages. We export beef, we export grain, and we export our kids. I'd like to keep Montana families together. And my proposition is very simple. Let's put a business guy in the governor's office to work with the legislature to make it easier for small business and families to make the American dream more achievable. We need more good paying jobs. That's what I'll focus on as your next governor.
Now, you mentioned it here, Congressman, COVID-19. Part of the reason that we're doing this by Zoom instead of having you here in the studio. Numbers are continuing to go up here, unfortunately, in the state of Montana. You win on Tuesday. What is going to be your approach as governor to all of this?
Yeah, this is a serious situation and we need serious solutions. I'm hopeful that in 2.5 months when I'm sworn in, we will have a vaccine. We need to make sure that our frontline workers are protected, particularly our healthcare workers. But I believe with appropriate precautions, we should be able to fully open up our schools and get people back to work, because just as much as we have a public health crisis, we also have an economic crisis, and we'll need to balance those two. I will take input from public health officials and other community leaders to take appropriate action so that we can deal with the virus, but also get people back to work and get our economy going again.
How challenging has this been for you for your campaign? Because, it certainly changes how you can do some things out there. How has it changed your campaign, Congressman?
Well, it has. I mean, in normal times, we'd be out every day meeting with folks all over the state. In fact, before COVID hit, we had done over 200 campaign events in every corner of the state. And based on following the guidelines, we've continued to meet with folks and travel the state. Just this week, we've been up in Kalispell and Great Falls and down in Hamilton, Billings, all over, visiting in a way that allows us to get our message out. I wish I could shake a few more hands and have a few more meetings, but we've used the tools available to us and we need to take appropriate precautions. But as you've noted, it has changed the rules.
Congressman, what's the biggest difference for Montana with you as governor instead of Mike Cooney?
Well, I'm a business guy, and my focus is on creating more good-paying jobs. My wife and I, we raised our 4 kids right here in the Gallatin Valley. We've lived in the same home for 25 years. We've built one of the state's largest employers, creating over 500 good-paying jobs, and that's what's missing in Montana. Montana is not living up to its full potential. And so I look forward to getting to work in Helena, creating more good-paying jobs so that Montanans can prosper. We're going to do that by lowering taxes, reducing regulation on small business, investing in trades education, get back to start managing our forests again instead of watching them burn. And I just want to say, Holly, it's game time, and I just encourage everybody that's listening to make sure they get their ballot turned in. It's now or never. You can't mail it anymore. You got to drop it off. But I would just encourage folks that haven't done it to get their ballot in today. And I would just humbly ask for your vote.
That's a great pitch, Congressman. Thank you for that. So important. Quickly, before we wrap this up here, you want to cut taxes. You've been talking about that all along. If the expected revenue doesn't come in like you were thinking it is quickly, how are you going to be able to handle that if you are cutting all those taxes?
Yeah, so this is explained in our business plan. State spending has gone up over 60% in the last 10 years. We do need to get our economy going again. My plan's very simple. Let's hold the line on new state spending. That doesn't mean cuts. It just means flatten the curve on state spending. And then as we have surplus, as the economy gets going again, my commitment to you is you'll never get higher taxes from me, not a sales tax or other taxes. We'll use any surplus that's generated to incrementally bring down income tax rates, property tax rates, and we're going to make the business equipment tax simpler, because taxing assets on a balance sheet just is a huge deterrent to investment, and it's preventing good paying jobs from being created here in the state. So it'll be an incremental approach.
Congressman Gianforte, we want to thank you so much for joining us today. Of course, we did speak with your opponent, Mike Cooney, yesterday, and we're going to wrap this up right now, but we will be back with another check of the forecast after the break.